Okay, well, take two on this. I had just started this, and then the phone, in all sincerity, was just sliding off no matter what I did. And I wanted to rather be outside of the van than inside of the van because that's obviously the view right behind me. We've had 4 nights in the van now. The first night, I'm almost kind of forgetting. The very first night was in big parking lot, and that's basically what I've done. That was down in the Wilsonville area, and then the last couple nights I was actually in the same parking lot. I went and did work during the day, and then came back to this parking lot in the Tigard King City area of Oregon because it had a couple of big trees that were growing over each other and had a really big shaded area. And with as hot as it's been getting, definitely have been needing to keep the van and the cats and myself as cool as possible. Over the last few days, we have gone to a couple of graveyards here and there and set up for a little bit. Today is yesterday I had hoped to be at one graveyard for a while, and then my mistake, I had not gotten food before we showed up. That just indicates that indeed I have had food already, so we've got a couple hours before I need to do anything. Because what I really want to do is be able to let the cats feel that the door opening isn't just the one chance they're going to have to get out. I want them to kind of realize that somewhere through the day, Dad's going to open the whole van and they just get to chill outside, which was what we're doing now in the graveyard. Yeah, I'm in a graveyard again. I'm doing this not because this is necessarily where I want to be. If I was where I'd want to be, it would be at like a nice, big, decent park where maybe I could park next to grass and put out the canopy like I am now, and then have the chair out and then just sit there and fold origami. Because then I may get somebody that's interested. Hey, what are you doing? Why are you doing that? I'd buy one of those for you to support you on your way. But before I do that, I need to make sure that the girls are really comfortable being in and out of the van at all times. So far I've noticed that Chuck definitely is my more explorative cat, but she's still pretty good about really sticking around the van. She's learning what no means. Like if I snap my fingers and say no, Chuck, she will back at me, but we'll go back and forth on that a couple of times, and after the second one she's like, all right, fine, he's serious, and she'll turn around, she'll come back towards the van. If that can truly be how things are with her, especially when we're out here. And I have seen when like a noise that she wasn't expecting, even like far off, not something near, because we're parked as far away from the street as I can get, which is an entire graveyard. Pulled off to the side and just very isolated. And even when she hears a sound that she doesn't like over here, she's right back up in the van. So I think that will be the way things are. I'm probably, in all sincerity, just going to take about another week or so of being in places like this that are unfortunately kind of isolated, just to make sure that they are ready to be in areas that aren't so isolated. Reality is, Luna, I don't have much worry about at all. Her being an older girl, she's very happy being in the van. I mean, like right now, she's actually in the van, just kind of checking stuff out while the doors are fully open. Hi, boo. Chuck, last time I looked, is just under the van, chilled out in the grass. So it seems like once they get a few minutes to kind of get their yayas of exploration out, they're very happy to be near, if not in the van, and just enjoying the fact that the van's open. Like right now, again, Luna has just come to the barn doors, side doors here, and is just sitting and just sniffing the air, and that's it. She has gotten out once and wandered around for about 3 or 4 minutes and then stopped. So it's kind of good. You know, I really do think, hopefully, I mean, I'm pushing for a week. In sincerity, hopefully in about 2 weeks, we'll really start to be able to find places where I can go, post up for the day, after driving for the morning with Uber, and really having a chance to make some origami outside of the van, have people see me doing it, and maybe ask me questions about it. And who knows, I might even hang a chain or two on the side of the van while I'm doing it. Now, I'm going to have the barn doors open. I hope to do something like I'm doing right now with the canopy up. And then, yeah, just maybe have a couple of chains just hanging on the side of the door as I'm chilling. Oh, what are those? Yes, they're for sale if you want to buy one and support me along my way of travels and exploration and adventure. To be awesome. And so far, in the sense of making money with an app while on the road, I gotta say I have gone with Uber Eats again. And I originally didn't think that was going to happen. And there is a reason. And the reason is gas. I am unquestionably using more gas to do Uber Eats than I would be if I was using Instacart. But the reality is, what I have to do to make 25 bucks from Uber Eats compared to 25 bucks from Instacart these days is an astronomical difference. With Uber Eats, seriously, all I have to do is drive to the restaurant, walk inside, if not roll through the drive-thru, get a meal, and go. And each run, I mean, just in all sincerity, for me, I usually accept $8 to $9 runs. I accepted one $6 run because it was a mile away from the coffee shop that I was across the street from. So it wasn't even 2 miles for $6. I was like, yeah, I can do that. But I normally accept rides between $9 to $15 for delivery. And like this morning, I made $80. I basically started at 6:30 and called it good about 9:45 finally. So 3 hours, $90. You know, that's really the amount of work time I did, because I took a little break and then turned it on one more time, did one more ride, and that made me another $20. So, you know, the fact that I was off and on and stopping, and I won't deny, I go out during the slower time. At some point, once things are a little more normalized for me and I'm more comfortable with this whole thing, and I'm not uncomfortable, it's just the whole learning curve of everything as you're doing it. Eventually, I will do some evening stuff too, because the reality is you make more money at night. But because I'm such an early riser, I just really like to get out, get stuff done, and be able to say, okay, I've made at least $80 today. If I don't do anything else, that's not bad, because if I do that 7 days a week, that's 560 if my math is right. I think it is. So, yeah, you know, that's not horrible. Chuck's back out. Oh, she just heard something, so she's going to go right back under. There's a bird that's here. If you hear that noise alone sent her back under the backside of the van. So, I mean, that's how cautious my cats are being in the sense of doing this, which is good too. But yeah, so if I make $80 a day, $560 a week, I mean, if that's the minimum I do, I'm kind of okay with that. That's over $2,000 a month to start on just the Uber. And if within a couple of weeks we can start sitting outside, and even for the beginning, selling chains from like $30 to $40 just to get it going and get money in, until it's obvious that they're really popular and people are really starting to want them, and I'm maybe building a demand, then you can go, well, it's more like 60 now, man. And again, hopefully eventually the origami can replace more of the Uber Eats. I'll probably still, for quite a while, even if I get established with the origami, I'll still probably get up and do something with Uber Eats, even just make like $30-40 a day. So like coffee and gas are covered. There we go. I mean, what else? I mean, I'm sure there's lots, but at the same time, there really isn't. I've done a lot of driving and exploring. I've seen places that definitely I had not seen before. As you'll see with a little clip of some stuff that I did yesterday that I'm going to get put into the tail end of this one. We were in a different graveyard that was out in the middle of nowhere. This is kind of in the middle of historic downtown Hillsboro. And is there like Pioneer Cemetery is what I believe it's called. But the one we were at yesterday, across the street from it was a goat patch, and because I was sitting there and I'd hear this occasional ding 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 ding. Their bells as they're walking along eating their grass, ding ding, that little cowbell sound. That was the only thing beside us. The unfortunate reality is I hadn't eaten, or we would have stayed there for a long time. I really think we're going to be here for a couple, 3 hours. So we start to get that mentality of just because the door is open doesn't mean I have to be outside. Doesn't mean I have to run as far away as possible. It just means get to feel air and chill outside and wander around and see things. But when I want to feel safe, I'm in the van. Like right now, Chuck is up in her little spot above the driver's seat. I see her tail just flipping back and forth happily, and she's looking out the back of the van. She'll probably be up there for an hour now. But yeah, that's really what I'm going for, is to take the temptation of being outside of the van away, and where it just feels like I know as a cat at some points through the day I'm gonna be out of this van and I'm gonna get to see stuff that I haven't seen before. And I cannot deny letting them out, even the smaller amount that I have over these last few days, definitely makes them happier to be in the van, especially Chuck. So that's good. In the sense of the cats, we're definitely making progress. And watch my hands move. Should almost have some balls there. Be juggling. Yeah. Yes, I'm an expressive talker. Anyway, also want to throw a quick thank you to Shelby. I asked her a question about beaches. She actually gave me a little bit of info. Said Manzanita. I'll throw that out there again. Just because, I love this area, but I would definitely love to be able to get to the coast at some point. Again, the level of app work that's down there is curtailing that for the moment. So I'm going to have a little bit more established here, and then go down when I've got a bit more in the pocket and see what I can get going. And again, hopefully by then I've got a little origami business established here too. But I think that's enough rambling, especially since I have to figure out a couple other pieces from yesterday. I just wanted to check in and say, things are cool, man. Just kind of going day by day at this point, figuring it out. And yeah, we're chilling in a bunch of greenery with quiet, except for me. I'm nice and loud against that green back there. Have a great day, and we'll check in later. Peace. It's unfortunately a little bright here, but it's also high. It's getting towards height of the day. But I just got done with the Uber Eats, and I thought I would show you where we decided to set the van up for a while today. Yes, we are in another graveyard. There's the pole to my canopy. I have that out for the day. But yeah, so this is just kind of what we're sitting in front of. That's Chuck, obviously enjoying flowers and grass and just rubbing her head on the gravestones. She found something to rub against, got her whole head all gray instead of black. But I'm gonna get up for a moment, kind of give you a little quick tour. Like I said, it's really bright, so right now I'm not gonna be able to do any photography. But later in the day, we'll be able to do something. I just kind of wanted to show you what we're up to for the moment. I'm sure I'll be back later when there's better light. So across from the graveyard is a little goat farm. And so in the distant background, I can kind of hear their bells going off as they're going around eating their food. It's kind of cool. Gotta be honest, it's pretty awesome. Here's another little view of some of the graveyard. Actually, like I said, it's still pretty bright. But we may not stick around too much longer, because I'm feeling hungry. I've had a donut so far this morning. So I think I'm ready to go back into Wilsonville proper and get some food. Well, yeah, here was a moment of what we did just to kind of relax for a bit. Catch y'all later. So there's Chuck just chilling in the sun on the driver's seat. Thought I'd get a few minutes of that. I'd say she's pretty happy in the van. But that's Chuck right now. So yeah, we obviously went out a little bit earlier, and now this is this afternoon, trying to keep the van cool while she sunbathes. Go figure.